In a world where stories were born from moonlight, there existed a hidden forest, one that could not be found on any map. It was said that every tree in that forest carried a story that had never been told, waiting for someone brave enough to write it. Sena had always loved stories. She grew up in a small village where people no longer believed in magic. They believed in work, silence, and sleep, nothing more. But Sena was different. Every night, when others closed their eyes, she sat by a window, writing about the world she dreamed of, kingdoms made of glass, stars that whispered secrets, oceans that remembered your name. One night, a soft knock came at her window. A moth, shimmering like silver dust, fluttered inside. Its wings formed glowing letters. "Come to the forest. Your story awaits." Before she could even gasp, the room melted into moonlight. The air shimmered, and when she opened her eyes again, she was standing at the edge of the Forest of Unwritten Tales. The trees hummed like voices trapped in pages. Each leaf bore faint words that disappeared when she tried to read them. Sena stepped inside. The deeper she went, the quieter the world became. No wind, no sound, only the pulse of stories waiting to be born. Suddenly, a figure appeared, a tall woman with hair that shimmered like ink in candlelight. "I am Avra," she said, "keeper of unwritten things. Every dream untold, every voice silenced, every story forgotten. They live here. But lately, the forest is dying. People no longer dream. You, girl, still carry a story. You can save us." Sena's heart raced. "How?" Avra extended her hand. "Find your unfinished story. Complete it before dawn, or both you and this forest will fade." With that, the trees parted, revealing 1,000 glowing threads in the air, each leading to a memory Sena didn't remember. One thread glowed brighter than the rest, pulsing softly like a heartbeat. She followed it. The thread led her to a clearing where a giant book floated in the air, its pages blank. As she reached out, ink began to swirl across the paper. Scenes from her life she had forgotten. A night she hid her drawing so no one would laugh, a friend she never said goodbye to, a promise she made to herself and broke. The ink stilled on one page, an unfinished sentence. "Sena will find the courage to—" She froze. The sentence waited for her. "What do I write?" she whispered. Then the ground trembled. Shadows began to rise, dark shapes made of unwritten fears whispering in her voice. "You will fail. You are nothing. You will be forgotten." Sena dropped the pen. Her hands shook, but then she remembered the stories she used to tell herself when she was little, about heroes who weren't fearless but tried anyway. She picked up the pen again, and with trembling fingers she wrote, "Sena will find the courage to believe." The shadows screamed and shattered into dust. The trees flared with golden light, their leaves bursting into words, thousands of stories finally written. Avra appeared again, smiling faintly. "You've done it." You reminded the forest that creation begins not with perfection, but with belief. The forest began to fade into soft moonlight. Sena felt herself pulled upward, weightless, free. When she opened her eyes, she was back at her window. The moth rested on her notebook, now filled with pages she didn't remember writing. On the last page was a single sentence glowing faintly. "Those who believe in their own story can never be unwritten." From that night on, Sena no longer wrote to escape her world. She wrote to create it. And somewhere, deep in the moonlit forest, new trees began to grow, whispering her name.